Hello, dear students, teachers, parents who are watching live, or those of you who will be watching the replay. I want to thank you for giving us some of your precious time to grow and learn with us. This session is both for youth and parents. So I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Azita Alavi, and I'm the Center of Youth Leadership and Certified Leadership Coach, Speaker, and Trainer. And I'm the responsible person for the John Maxwell Team Youth French. So I want to thank you for being here with us. So I'm going to start sharing my screen with you. Wonderful. Okay. I was just saying that in the course of my professional and personal life, I learned that the vast majority of people are not where they're supposed to be because they lack talent or potential or ability, not because of that, but because their mind is programmed to create what they don't want, the result they don't want. They wish to become successful, but their beliefs are controlling and limiting their results. I learned that all of us has the potential to be, do, and have much more in life. I know we can all be more successful, and what we're today and what we have achieved up to this day is not indicating our potential. What we see is the result of our awareness of our abilities and strengths up to this day. When we raise the ceiling of our understanding, of our awareness of who we are, guess what changes? Our results will change and improve. And so we get closer to our potential. The more we learn about ourselves, and our innate strengths and our weaknesses, the more we gain the power of controlling our life and improving our results. So if we don't see the results that we want to have in life, we shouldn't really look outside of us and blame other people or the environment or circumstances. But instead, we have to learn more about who we are, use and focus on our strengths, and create the life that we want. It's an inside job, my friends. So in my work as a leadership coach and trainer, I share practical, proven, and effective tools and techniques that help people raise their awareness and help them interrupt the old habitual ways of thinking and then replace them with new knowledge and habits that will translate into effective action and desired results. And I'm here today to share with you some of the things we all need to know so we can be, do, have more in life. By understanding ourselves better, we can get closer to fulfilling our potential. Okay, so if you're ready to jump on this ride with me, I get started. So there are basically a few things that can impact the level of success we experience in life. The first one is our thoughts, and that's probably the most important one. The quality of our thoughts determine our results. You know, the way we think will determine our life. Did you know that? In fact, whatever we think about, we will become. The thoughts, like everything else, are energy. And the energy of our thoughts can be positive or negative. So the positive energies create positive emotions in us. And as a result, they will lead to positive and supporting behavior from us. like the kind of behavior that will support us to take actions. Those actions that will help us to get the results we want. And you can guess what negative thoughts would do, right? I'm not going to say it here, but you probably have a good guess. So our thoughts create emotions and feelings, and these feelings create the behavior, and our behavior makes us take action, and obviously our actions will create the results. Now, I had a student who was really failing at math, and so we started working together. She told me she was not made for math, and whatever she was doing, she wouldn't get it. I knew I had to change her opinion about herself and help her think differently about herself. So as I was talking to her about the importance of her thoughts, we worked and practiced math, and then she started getting better and doing better. As her results changed, she became more motivated, and she started thinking differently about math and about herself. As she worked harder and harder, she felt better about math, and that feeling helped her to do more and work harder and get better results. I'm not saying she's a mathematician today. She's not, but she loves math. And she's doing pretty good, and she's getting good results and good grades. So the first step to having success in life is having positive and supporting thoughts about our abilities, about ourselves. So my student was talking to herself very negatively, right? She was just talking all the time about not being, able to learn math, and her brain wasn't made for math and all of those things. She was telling herself stories that were not true. And she was thinking the results she was getting were showing her potential in math. And that wasn't true at all. So let me tell you that your current result in any subject area in school, the results you're getting in any area in your life, not only at school, are not showing your potential. What you see is the amount of effort you have made up to this day, and the thoughts that you had about yourself up to this day that have created the results that you see right now. So if you change the effort you give, and you change your beliefs about yourself, what is changing? Your results, of course. So my student did the same thing, honestly. And she worked harder, and so as she did, her thoughts about herself changed. And because, she received better results, and then she worked even harder, and her results changed, and she got better and better. So what was she seeing wasn't her potential, but was the result of her previous actions and beliefs, okay? So what else can help us become successful? The first one, we talked about our thoughts. We have to have positive thoughts about ourselves and about our capabilities, and we have to put more effort into whatever we're doing. So we'll focus on what we have to doing with positivity. What is the second thing that helps us become more successful? That's our self-image. Our belief about ourselves is our self-image. The way we think about ourselves is very, very important. And we need to be careful how we talk to ourselves, how we think about ourselves. Why? Because our beliefs about ourselves, like I said, create feelings and emotions, right? And those feelings will create behavior that will either support us or destroy us. So watch your self-talk and be very, very careful about how also what other people say about you that is impacting you. Because it doesn't matter what other people say about you. What matters is what you think and say to yourself. The most important conversation we will ever have in our lives is the conversation we have with ourselves. Is our self-talk, because that conversation is creating an image of us in our mind. And then we will believe that image. And we think, behave, and act according to that image, to that belief. And you know the rest, right? So what is important is how you think about yourself and how you talk to yourself. Again, your brain is listening to you and is believing you. So our self-image is like a ceiling to our success. So this is a ceiling of our self-image, and underneath this is the success that we can have. And we can never surpass that ceiling, right? Become more successful. The only way we can do it is to raise that ceiling, the ceiling of self-image, and make sure that we have positive thoughts that will support our feelings, behavior, and actions to get the results that we want. How can we do that? We have to do that by observing our thoughts and by intentionally changing them, by using empowering and positive statements about ourselves, and by praising ourselves when we do things right. We also need to be kind to ourselves when we make mistakes. Let me tell you, a lot of people have a bad self-image because they feel really bad when they make a mistake. They can't forgive themselves and they blame themselves forever, right? So we need to know that mistakes will always happen, always, always. And we make mistakes whether we want them or not. And we make mistakes because we are learning and growing. In fact, if we don't make mistakes, it means we're not trying and we're not growing enough, right? So the only time mistakes actually turn into failure is when we don't learn from our mistakes. And when we don't learn from the valuable lessons from our mistakes, we have failed, because we will keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again, and maybe forever. So take time to evaluate your mistakes and learn from them. Now, the third thing that helps us become more successful after our self-image is it's knowing who we really are. It's understanding our strengths, our weaknesses, focusing on our strengths and developing them and using them, and also improving our weaknesses. But we should never focus on our really weaknesses, because you know, scientifically it's proven that people that work on the area that they're passionate about and they're good at, they made that way. Their brain is actually made that way, and so they can become really good in that whatever they're doing and they're passionate about. But when they work on the area that they're not good at and they just constantly have to improve themselves and their brain is not structured that way, then they become just average in that area. So you want to find out who you really are, what you're passionate about, what's your calling, and then you want to make a career out of that, because you know brain science has really proved that. The other thing we need to know to become successful in life, which is really, really, really important, and the next section actually we're going to just